What up, Blockheads? I'm actually headed to a dealership right now, and sadly, this is my last ride on my CBR1000RR. So I've basically been contemplating getting rid of the CBR based on what I'm spending on it per month versus how much I ride it. I just can't justify keeping it, you know. We're saving up for a house, so this is one of the expenses to go. We are replacing it with another bike. But I'm not telling you guys what quite yet. That'll be probably the next video. So I got to thinking, what did I want my last ride to be? And it got me to thinking even more about a video that I filmed a while back about the Harley 48. I didn't record a video on reasons as to why I chose the CBR1000RR, but I'm going to basically go over the reasoning as to why I chose this bike. That's one of the reasons. Oh man, this bike is so much fun. God, I'm gonna miss it. Oh. Yeah, so I've sold or traded in other bikes, and you know, it's always been an upgrade, but this is gonna be a little something different. Like I said, I'm not gonna tell you guys quite yet. So yeah, 5 reasons as to why I chose the Honda CBR1000RR. Reason number 1 is the aesthetics of it. Man, I totally love the design of this bike. It's like the lines of it are just super clean. It looks amazing. I think it is just a damn sexy bike. I've actually, whenever I bought my R6 back in the day, I was looking at the CBR600. The only reason I didn't end up going with that one is because they were discontinuing it, and so that I thought basically like the Yamaha, for the fact that it placed a little higher, would retain its value a little more, and it did. I got a really good trade-in value for my R6 whenever I traded it in. But yeah, whenever I had the R6, I basically traded in the R6 for the CBR1000. It was an easy decision because a lot of the riding that I do is in the city, right, in Orlando. God, I'm gonna miss this bike. So yeah, a lot of the riding that I do is around town in traffic and such, and the 600 didn't have enough like mid-range power for me, man. It's like it was all top end on the R6, and so I just wasn't a real big fan of it. By the way, you know, I'm going like 70, 80 miles an hour on the turnpike here, so my apologies about any wind noise. I guess we're getting into reason number 2. But yeah, reason number 1 was aesthetics. It's a damn sexy bike. Love the way it looked. That's what initially, you know, attracted me to the bike. Reason number 2 was the upgrade in power. So basically, what I've been doing, ripping here through traffic, you know, like you get on it a little bit, it's got a much more mid to high range torque. Obviously, it's a 1000. The displacement is higher than a 600. And I'm comparing it to an R6 because that's what I owned previously. But I've also ridden a lot of other sport bikes. You know, I've ridden, oh damn it, I need gas. I guess I should probably pull over at this gas station, huh? I've ridden, you know, like Gixxer 600s. I rode, you know, FZ10. Well, FZ10 is a crazy torquey beast, but compared to like the Gixxer 600, the Gixxer 750, the Yamaha R6, the Yamaha R1 even, because I test rode the R1, this has a much smoother like delivery of its power. It's very predictable. You know, it's got, actually I've got a picture of a guy that got his dynoed, same bike, 2015 CBR1000RR, and they're pretty much the same up until what, I think 2017, I believe. And yeah, the power curve on it is very linear. It's very predictable, very controllable, and that's one of the reasons that I wanted to switch over. Like I said, because my application is using it in traffic a lot, and that mid-range torque, much more usable in traffic, you know, because I mean, you're not going like breakneck speeds all the time, especially when riding in the city. And I use it as a commuter quite often. I mean, we would do weekend rides, and you know, we would go out hit up Sugarloaf or ride to wherever, but you know, towards the end, the whole reason I'm getting rid of it is because I didn't use it as much as I thought I would, especially with Miss Blockhead recently getting into riding, and she rides a cruiser, you know. She takes out her cruiser, I take out my cruiser. This bike does not get the love that it should. I'm sad to see it go. Man, this is like a goodbye 5 things I love about this bike. It's like torture, man. I gotta say goodbye to it. I'm talking about all the reasons I love it. Sucks. We don't have that far to go, so I'm not gonna put too much gas in it. Everything is the last time. Last time I'm filling her up. What? No, I don't want to see the damn cashier. Yeah, I got it. Approved, you bastard. 93 dead dinosaurs. Seriously, I'm only gonna put like a gallon in here. Nope. The last time I'm starting it. Ooh, what's that? It's like a Harley cruiser. So yeah, reason number 2 that I bought it. Freaking the power. The raw, ultimate power. Seriously, this bike is an absolute beast, guys. Like, you know, they always tell you about leader bikes and how they're really powerful, and dude, totally true. Powerful as hell. Definitely a lot more power than I could ever utilize. But I mean, I totally knew that going into it. I was more buying it for like that mid-range, you know what I'm saying? Oh, you getting over again? Okay. Is that a cap? Kinda looks like a cap. It's a white car. I don't know if that's the reason I'm getting rid of it. You can get into a lot of trouble with this bike. Yeah, so reasons 1 and 2, aesthetics of it, damn sexy bike. Reason number 2, the power. Reason number 3, the reputability of Honda. I mean, Honda engines, you know, you always hear about them. Previously on the Honda Fit, freaking amazing car. I mean, dude, it's still got like 100-something thousand miles on it. It's a freaking great car. So the reputability for sure, man. That's a big factor in why I purchased a lot of stuff. I mean, a lot of these are very similar to the reasons that I purchased quite a many automobiles. Shit, man. It doesn't feel like you're going the speed that you are. Like 86. Slow down. Yeah, it's reputability. That's a big one. I mean, I don't really have to explain that too in depth. I don't think you guys should know that Hondas are incredibly reliable, reputable. You know, last choice for my sport bike was a Yamaha, also reliable, good performance. 4th reason I bought it is because of the price, and that's usually my number 1 reason, but I got a hell of a deal on this bike. It was one of actually the cheapest in the nation. I had positive equity built into my R6, and so whenever I traded it in, it was kind of like, you know, I was in the positive. Previously it was owned by a Honda technician, so that's a huge plus. And whenever I took it to this dealership that I'm going to right now, and they looked it over for the trade-in, they said, yeah man, like whoever had this, like it's in immaculate condition. Somebody treated it really, really well and took great care of it. So that's what happens whenever your motorcycle or bike is owned by a mechanic or a tech. It's a good thing. But yeah, the price was super good. Like I said, I had positive equity built into my trade. So my monthly payments actually didn't increase like at all, which is awesome. So monthly payments didn't increase. My insurance did go up quite a bit. That's what's kind of killing it. So the insurance on a sport bike is a lot, and the insurance on a super sport like a freaking 1000 is even more. So that freaking sucks. Payments per month, the price of the bike, awesome deal. Price of my trade-in, awesome deal. And so that was a huge factor that pushed me into getting it. You know, I was ready for the step up. I can't wait to see y'all's reactions whenever you see what I'm trading it in for. And I know I haven't had it that long, like for those of you that are watching this, but I've had it long enough to know that I don't use it as much as I should compared to what I'm paying for it. So it's just, it doesn't make sense to hold on to it, you know. So as 4th reason, finances. 5th reason is maintenance. Since it is a Honda, this bike has been in production for a long damn time, and so there's lots of stuff out there. Lots of stuff out there. Basically, you can do your own oil changes. This is a non-ABS version, so you know you can bleed your own brake lines, swap out your own pads, all that stuff. I don't know what the process is for for bikes that have the ABS version. I'm sure it's a little more complicated, but this is, you know, it's a pretty standard bare bones bike with a 15. It doesn't have much electronic assistance. It does have an electronic steering damper built in, but it doesn't have any modes or anything, which I kind of like, you know. It's like not super complicated. But yeah, like maintenance doesn't cost an arm and a leg. There's tons of Honda dealerships around. There's lots of mechanics that work on Hondas, and you can work on it yourself. You know, you can order parts for it, and you can pretty much find how-to videos and all that stuff like online. You can get the service manuals for them. You know, you don't have to pay an arm and a leg to get service done on them. So, like, especially if you do it yourself and you've got a garage and all the tools that you need, right? That's one of the huge factors is, you know, once again, financially, it saves you money versus like if you buy you know, BMW S1000 or a freaking Aprilia or something. It's like those are going to be a little more costly, you know. Same with like Ducati. You can't really do your own maintenance on a lot of those bikes because they're very specialized, and you have to have the right tools, or like you have to hook them up to a computer, etc., etc. So this, you don't have to do that, which is pretty nice. So yeah, those are my 5 reasons, guys, that I chose this bike. And I know it's kind of contradictory, you know, the reasons that I chose it and I'm taking to trade it in. I would totally hold on to it if I could, but like I said, financially, I don't ride it enough to justify. I've also got 2017 Harley Davidson Lowrider S, and you know, with Miss Blockhead, with her starting to ride in her cruiser, it's like this doesn't get as much love as it should, because she rides a cruiser, I'm gonna ride a cruiser. I'm not gonna take this out because it's like unfair to the bike. Anyways, yeah, you guys post up your comments in the comment section below if you guys own a CBR1000RR. I mean, post up if you're considering getting one. Man, I would highly recommend it. I freaking love this bike. I'm gonna miss that so much. Damn it. Yeah, I'm sad, dude. I'm gonna miss this bike. Farewell, CBR. It's been real. Man, I'm totally gonna have another one of these in the future, though. Like I said, financially, we've got some other priorities happening right now, so. But in the future, I will most definitely own, another sport bike for sure. Anyways, yeah, like I was saying, you guys have any thoughts on it? You guys post up your comments in the comment section below. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to hit the like button. If you guys aren't subscribed already, be sure to hit the subscribe button as well. Hit that bell icon so it sends you notifications of future uploads and all that. Blinker, blinker, blinker. Until next time, you guys ride safe out there. Stay vigilant. And I'll catch y'all later. Deuces. Oh. So sad.